is Annika Ryan from Another Messy Crafter, and today I am doing a quick tutorial about how to do Copic clouds or Copic sky, because a lot of you have asked about that one. And it's fairly easy. All you have to do really is to not imagine clouds, but the spaces between the clouds. Basically, you will not draw the clouds, but you will draw in the negative spaces, the bits of sky that show between the clouds. It all becomes very clear. It's very easy and it's quite fast compared to every other method, and it doesn't use huge amounts of ink either. Now, let's go in random spots and just try to keep the marker moving in a bit of a zigzag motion, so it wouldn't be all even and nice. Like that. Almost pretend as if your hand is shaking a bit. Just pretend you have an unsteady hand. Or in my case, just take a good advantage of your unsteady hand. Now, and just random little shapes, basically bits of sky between the clouds. The further the clouds get, the closer to the horizon, the smaller and kind of more stripy looking they get. So near the horizon, don't make very big spaces between the clouds anymore. Just kind of make a bit unsteady stripes in the sky, but not proper little ruler type of a stripes, just more of a stripy sky. Now you have the first base for everything down. You can use a variety of different colors, but at the moment the next color I'm using is B91, which is pale grayish blue. And I'm just going in, and in some spots, just not in too many, I'll add tiny bits of dark to give some definition to some edges. And again, the more unsteady your hand is, the better. I know, it sounds kind of wrong. As long as you don't basically go into your pre-colored image, you can afford to have pretty shaky hand. And now you go back to your B00, which is B0000, B4 zeros basically, and you kind of dab on them, on the darker marker, on the lines from the darker marker, which is B91, pale grayish blue. Just, you can add a bit of that, the same light marker into the light areas as well. It will make the light areas a shade darker. And add them a bit of a depth and definition. And just, you're better off with a fairly juicy marker now. I just refilled my quadruple B4 zeros, the palest blue, before I started doing that sky, because it kind of benefits from being fairly full and juicy and the ink flowing nicely. And just go over slightly those lines here at the horizon. And you kind of look for the spots you would imagine there's some shadow. And again, don't bother making it very even. Kind of have this dabbing motion going on. Because clouds are never really very uniform and puffy, and you see the puffy, nice, cute clouds only in comic books and, well, stamps. You see how it's starting to, and same way here, kind of go in stripes, but keep them kind of a bit random and barely touch the paper with your marker. And as you can see, there's no plan. It has to be fairly random, like the sky is random. It's never ever the same. So why should it be the same on your cards? Just let yourself go. As I've said before, just play. It's kind of fun doing it. You almost feel like an artist. Now, and you could leave it at that. But I'm going to add a tiny bit of more shadow, just tiny bit. I'm going to take C1 and just add in some spots a bit more shadow. Not huge amounts, but same way the clouds would be. Some spots are deeper shadows and some spots are, and you can see how random it is. And the same way, just do a tiny, tiny, touching the paper gently, 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 hint of a line, and not a proper line, but kind of a random. Now, and it just goes on and on. As you can see, as it dries, it actually becomes lighter. That's the way Copics operate. Very similar to watercolors. So, if it seems to you that, oh, it goes on very dark, actually, once it dries, it won't be looking that dark anymore. So no panic. You can see how random it is and how easy it is. You know, there's nothing complicated or tricky about it. Just play. But not proper blending, no circular motion, just a bit of a dabbing. Keep it random. Keep it kind of natural, really. That is the word I'm looking for here. Sometimes I like to just go in with your colourless blender, your 0 marker. Just go over the lines slightly, just over everything. Just soften it up a bit. To make all that, or you can just soften some random bits, like you could leave that bit here sharp but soften up that bit here. But since I started to go over everything, I'll just carry on doing the same. Just have that, just takes the sky more back. Its lines won't be that harsh and it won't be as overpowering. And now you can see already it's becoming lighter, but you can't really see properly yet because the marker is still wet, so I let it to dry and show it to you what happened. Ink is now dry and you can see the final effect. As you can see, this one is fairly soft because I went all over everything with the colourless blender, but you can leave it sharper or you can even add more dramatic effects with darker markers, with grays, or if it's sunset and sunrise, with reds and oranges and yellows. You can just have loads of fun. It's very similar to watercolor technique, basically working in negatives. You're just mostly working on the... You're starting by finding the negative spaces, the bits of sky between the clouds, and go on from there. It's really easy, it's real fun, it's quite fast, so have a go!